legs, you have to do squats. Doctors mention it, trainers recommend it, magazines repeat it, and most of us accept it as common sense. But what if that advice, the one meant to keep you strong and independent, is quietly putting your knees at risk? Here's something that might surprise you. According to research cited by Harvard Medical School, nearly 1 in 2 adults over the age of 55 show signs of knee degeneration or chronic knee pain. And biomechanical studies have found that deep squatting can place up to 5 to 7 times your body weight in compressive force through the knee joint. Think about that for a moment. If you weigh 180 pounds, your knees could be absorbing 900 to over 200 pounds of pressure every time you go into a deep squat. Now, that doesn't automatically mean squats are bad for younger joints or for people with perfect mobility and no joint issues. They can still be useful. But here's what no one really tells you. Your body at 55, 60, or 70 is not the same body you had at 30. With age, cartilage becomes thinner, joint lubrication decreases, reaction time slows. The small stabilizing muscles around the hips, knees, and ankles quietly weaken, and yet, many of us are still trying to train as if none of that has changed. So when your knees start to hurt during squats, or you feel unstable, or you start to avoid certain movements, you might think, maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm not strong enough. Maybe I should push harder. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is that we've been given one-size-fits-all exercise advice for a body that is anything but one-size-fits-all? Here's the hidden truth. After 50, the biggest threats to your independence are not a lack of effort or motivation. They are loss of balance, loss of control when moving, and loss of confidence in your own body. In fact, studies published in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy in the Lancet Public Health have shown that falls and mobility loss in older adults are driven more by poor balance, poor movement control, and weakness in stabilizing muscles than by a simple lack of strength. This is not to scare you. This is to empower you, because the goal after 50 is not to prove how much you can lift. The goal is to stay independent, stay confident, and keep doing the things you love without fear of pain or falling. And that's why today, I want to show you something different. Not harder exercises, not trendier exercises, but 3 smarter exercises that, for most people over 50, are actually better for your knees than squats and far more useful for real life. Before we dive in, I'd love to know who's joining us today. If you feel comfortable, drop a quick comment with your first name, age, and where you're watching from. This space is about connection, and your journey might inspire someone else to begin theirs too. Most people over 50 don't stop exercising because they're lazy. They stop because they're trying to be safe, and that's completely understandable. It doesn't strengthen the deep stabilizers around your knees and hips. And it doesn't train your nervous system to react when something unexpected happens, like stepping off a curb or catching yourself when you trip. Now let's talk about squats. They seem like a full-body movement, but traditional squats mainly target large muscle groups like the quadriceps and glutes. What they miss: eccentric control, the ability to slow down movement, side-to-side strength, reflexive balance control. As we age, it's those smaller, often ignored systems that determine whether we stay steady or take a fall. A large-scale review in the Lancet Public Health 2018 found that the top causes of age-related decline in mobility were not due to lack of strength, but due to reduced balance control and poor reaction time. And when we continue using routines that don't challenge those systems, something dangerous happens. You feel like you're exercising safely, but slowly, silently. You're getting weaker in the areas that matter most. And here's the worst part. You don't notice it until a fall, a close call, or a painful injury forces you to stop entirely. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's why the solution isn't to push harder, it's to train smarter. Coming up, I'll show you 3 simple exercises that are not only easier on your knees than squats, but also far more effective at building real-life strength, balance, and control. These movements are backed by science, easy to start at home, and can help you stay strong, mobile, and independent for years to come. Let's begin our countdown with exercise number 3. Exercise number 3, step downs with eccentric control. It's not just about going down, it's about going down in control. Sounds simple, right? You might be thinking, It's just stepping off a step. How important can that be? But if you've ever felt your knees wobble going downstairs or lost your balance stepping off a curb, you already know going down is often harder and more dangerous than going up. That's because descending requires something many people over 50 have never trained directly: eccentric control, the ability to slow your body down safely. When you step down, your muscles, especially the quadriceps on the front of your thighs, have to lengthen while still holding tension. This is called eccentric contraction, and it's essential for controlling speed during downward movement, protecting the knees from sudden impact, preventing drop and crash steps that strain joints and throw off balance. The problem: most traditional exercises like squats or leg presses don't train this skill. They build joint-smart strength, the kind that keeps you moving without pain. What happens if we ignore this? Each unstable step chips away at confidence. You start avoiding stairs or uneven terrain. Muscle memory shifts toward instability. The nervous system becomes less responsive. And one day, one quick misstep becomes a life-changing fall. And all the while, you think you're just getting older when in fact, your body is simply untrained in a crucial skill. Here's how to start. Find a low, sturdy step, 4-6 inches. The bottom stair works well. Stand with both feet on the step. Slowly lower one foot down to the floor. Control the descent, don't just drop. Once your foot touches the floor, press through the foot that stayed on the step to return up. Repeat 10-12 times per leg, 2-3 sets per day. Keep it slow, keep it mindful. The goal is smooth, quiet control, not speed. You can place a chair or countertop nearby for support if needed. If stepping down feels too hard, start with smaller range or even just practice the motion from flat ground. This movement may look simple, but it's quietly training your brain, your muscles, and your nervous system to react with strength instead of panic. And over time, that's what prevents injuries and protects your freedom. Exercise number 2, sit to stand, the real test of independence. Getting up from a chair. That's just everyday life, not exercise. That's what most people think until one day, they hesitate. The knees ache. The effort feels heavier. And suddenly, something you've done your whole life doesn't feel so easy anymore. The truth is, this one movement, standing up from a chair, is one of the clearest indicators of aging well. Because if you can rise confidently, you can live confidently. The sit-to-stand movement trains exactly the muscles you use every single day. Quadriceps, front of thighs. Glutes, hips, and buttocks. Hamstrings, back of thighs. Core muscles, stabilizers of your spine and posture. It also teaches joint control and balance coordination, which are far more critical than just muscle size or strength. Most gym routines separate exercises: squats here, core over there, balance in another session. But sit to stand combines all three into one functional, real-life movement. A long-term study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity 2018 found that the sit-to-stand test was the most accurate predictor of fall risk and loss of independence in adults over 60. Even more participants who practiced this movement daily showed a 30 to 40% improvement in leg strength and daily confidence after just 6 weeks with no equipment needed. This isn't just a test, it's a training method in disguise. What happens when we stop practicing it? You start using your hands or leaning forward to stand. Then you avoid low chairs or deep couches. Next, you need help from a person or walker. Eventually, you lose not just strength, but confidence and autonomy. And that's how independence slips away, not in a sudden fall, but in tiny daily hesitations. The danger isn't that you're weak. It's that no one told you to train this movement until now. Start here. Choose a sturdy or non-cushion chair. Sit near the front edge, feet flat, shoulder width apart. Engage your core. Lean slightly forward from the hips. Press through your heels and rise slowly. Pause briefly at the top, then lower yourself with control. Start with 8-10 reps. Build up to 2-3 sets per day. Don't rush. Don't power through. Focus on control, alignment, and breath. Too difficult. Raise the seat with a cushion. Too easy. Try without using your hands or slow down each phase. The sit-to-stand isn't just about exercise. It's about dignity. Every time you rise from that chair on your own, you're sending a message to yourself: I'm still in charge of my body. I'm still in motion. Exercise number 1. Lateral step-ups, strength from the side. Why would I need to train stepping sideways? I just walk forward? It's a fair question. After all, most of our daily movement is forward walking, climbing stairs, reaching, but falls rarely happen when you're moving in a straight line. They happen when you pivot to grab something, when you sidestep a grandchild or pet, or when your foot slips slightly to the side. And in those moments, the muscles that matter most are not your big, forward-moving ones. They're the small side stabilizers that keep you upright, and most people never train them. There's one key muscle that silently protects you in side-to-side movement. The gluteus medius, located on the outside of your hip. It acts like a steering wheel for your pelvis and a shock absorber for your knees. As we age, this muscle weakens not because we're doing something wrong, but because most routines like walking, biking, or squats completely ignore lateral motion. This isn't accessory work. This is foundational strength. The silent danger of ignoring lateral training. Step sideways, knee buckles. Turn too fast, lose control. Walk uneven terrain, trip without warning. Avoid movement altogether. Further weakness sets in. All because one small, quiet muscle wasn't activated. And the worst part, traditional safe exercise routines never mention it. Here's how to train smarter. Find a low, sturdy step, 4 to 6 inches. Stand sideways with one foot near the edge of the step. Step up sideways, pressing through the heel of the leading foot. Bring the other foot up to meet it. Pause at the top for balance. Step down slowly in reverse order. Repeat 10, 12 times per leg. 2-3 sets per day. Keep your chest lifted, eyes forward, and move with control, not momentum. Too difficult. Start with side leg raises while holding onto a chair. Too easy. Try holding a light weight or slowing the tempo even more. Side-to-side movement might feel unfamiliar, but that's the point. It wakes up the systems we've ignored. And the more you train it, the more grounded, steady, and responsive your body becomes in every direction. Let's take a breath together. You've just learned 3 simple movements that most people overlook, but that could quietly reshape how you walk, how you stand, and how confidently you live. They may not be flashy, they may not look like traditional workouts, but make no mistake, these movements build something far more powerful than muscle. They build trust in your own body again. We've trained for strength. Now, let's train for control. We've tried to move more. Now, let's move smarter. Each step down teaches your knees to absorb impact gently. Each sit to stand builds the muscles of daily independence. Each lateral step up sharpens your stability in the real world, where movement isn't just forward, but in all directions. These aren't just exercises. They're a quiet vote for your future self, the one who still wants to travel, play, garden, climb stairs, and live on your own terms. And here's the truth, control isn't lost with age. Strength doesn't disappear overnight. Confidence isn't gone, it's just waiting to be invited back. Before you begin, please remember everything in this video